whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Honorable members, welcome to the sitting of today, Tuesday, the 28th day of July 2026 at 9:30 a.m. Clerk, confirm that we have the requisite quorum to transact today's business.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the House is not quorate.
There being no quorum to commence the business of the day, I direct that pursuant to Standing Order 36, the quorum bell be rung for an initial 10 minutes or until such a time that quorum shall be achieved. Further, honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 37(3), I hereby direct the Sergeant at Arms to ensure that the door remains unlocked but no member leaves the chamber except the whips until the House becomes quiet.
our best. Our best. Our best.
There being no quorum at the expiry of the initial 10 minutes, I direct that pursuant to Standing Order 36, the quorum bell be rung for a further 5 minutes.
Doing our best.
Honorable members, quorum having been confirmed, we proceed with the business of the day. Clerk, first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Communication from the chair. Honorable members, I wish to notify you that today, the 28th day of July 2026, we have the honor to welcome teachers and pupils from Mountain Springs Academy in Geta Ward, Kipipiri Sub-County of our county, Nyandarua. There is a total of 15 pupils and 5 teachers who are leading the delegation, namely Ms. Esther Wairimu, head teacher, Ms. Grace Wangoi, deputy head teacher, Mr. Samuel Dungu, teacher, Ms. Jane Wajiko, teacher, and Ms. Caroline, teacher. In the delegation, we also have the leadership of the pupils led by Mr. Jacob Kamau, president, Ms. Maureen Wamboi, class prefect grade 6, Ms. Claire Nyambura, class prefect grade 5. As an assembly, we have a standing tradition of warmly welcoming our visitors, more so students or pupils, as we deliberate on important matters touching on the county. I therefore ask you, honorable members, to join me in applauding the teachers and students of Mountain Springs Academy as foresaid. Finally, honorable members, I wish to let the House know that this school comes from the ward I represent, namely Geta Ward. It is one of the best private schools in the world. Karibuni sana. Thank you, honorable members. Clerk, next order. Honorable Majority Leader and Member for Kaibaga, Honorable Elijah Mwangi Nyaga, proceed and table the notice paper.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm so much elated today because I've not been allowed, but great to be here to execute my mandate, and to represent the people of Kaibaga Ward and the entire Nyandarua County fraternity. But maybe before I proceed to table the notice paper, Honorable Speaker, just allow me to appreciate the presence of Mountain Springs Academy, whereby they are led by their head teacher, Miss Esther, the deputy head teacher, Madam Grace, and the entire leadership within the Mountain Springs Academy. It's a great honor and a great moment to have you here. At least the pupils will have an occasion and a moment to learn more on the operationalization of how we do operate as a county assembly. It is an assurance that the county assembly is a replica of the national assembly. What transpires here is total replica of what transpires at the national assembly. I wish them all well in their endeavors, in their education, and we are happy to have one of the best performing private primary school within the Geta region. Honorable Speaker, if you may allow me, I wish to table the following notice paper running to 28th July to 29th July 2026. And today being a Tuesday at 9:30 a.m., we have the following business, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have the following papers, that is public management, public finance management, that is Nyandarua County Climate Change Fund Regulations 2026, which will be being sponsored by myself as the leader of majority party. Honorable Speaker, we'll also be having report of the Committee on Special Funds Accounts on Nyandarua County, Emergency Funds, Annual Report and Financial Statements for the year financial ended 30 June 2021, being sponsored by Honorable Peter Deji Kiriga, Chairperson Committee on Special Funds Accounts. On notices of motion, Honorable Speaker, we'll be having notice of motion on the report of Committee on Education, Vocational Training, Culture and Gender on County Government of Nyandarua Bursary Fund, have a report and financial statement for period that was December 2025, sponsored by Peter Gadungu Kamau, Chairperson Committee on Education. Honorable Speaker, in these morning hours, we'll also be having the following business. On motions and bills, we'll be having a motion on report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation and Environment. On County Government of Nyandarua, Lake or Borsat, Sports, Tourism and Conservation have Marathon Fund, and have a report on financial statement for the period ended 31st December 2025, sponsored by Isaac Baye Kamau, Chairperson Committee on Water and Sanitation. Today, Honorable Speaker, at 2:30 p.m. we'll be having the following business, and we start with the report of Committee on Health Services on County Government of Nyandarua. JM Hospital have a report and financial statement for the year period ended that was December 2025, being sponsored by Honorable Paul Geshe-Wabeire, Chairperson Committee on Health Services. We'll also be getting on motions and bills. Honorable Speaker, we'll be having motion on report on Committee on Water Sanitation, on Nyandarua County Climate Change Fund Annual Report and financial statement for the financial year ended 30th June 2025, sponsored by Honorable Isaac Baye Kamau, Chairperson Committee on Water and Sanitation. Honorable Speaker, we'll also be getting another business, that is motion on the report of the Committee on Health Services on Engineer Level, County Level 4, Hospital Annual Report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2025, sponsored by Paul Geshe-Wabeire, Chairperson Committee on Health Services. Tomorrow, Honorable Speaker, being a Wednesday, that is 29th July at 9:30 a.m. morning hours, Honorable Speaker, we'll be getting the following business, that we'll be having a report on the Committee on Public Works, Roads, Transport and Housing, on Departmental Budget Implementation Report of the financial year 2025-2026, sponsored by Honorable Simon Bogo, Chairman Committee on Public Works and Laws. We will also be getting another report on the Committee on Trade, Industrialization, Cooperative and Partnership on the status of response on queries raised to the County Executive Committee on Member of Trade, Industrialization and Partnership Joining Committee on General Oversight, and we'll be getting the report from Samuel Imui Kayani, Chairman Committee on Trade and Industrialization. On motions and bills, Honorable Speaker, tomorrow morning we'll be having a motion on report of the Committee on Education, Vocational Training, on County Government of Nyandarua Bursary Fund, have a report and financial statement for the period ended 31st June, but that was December 2025, sponsored by Peter Gadungu Kamau, Chairperson Committee on Education. At 2:30 p.m., that is tomorrow, Honorable Speaker, we'll be having the following business. One, we'll start with the report on the Committee on Arts, Physical Planning and Housing, and Urban Development on County Government of Nyandarua. Second, Kenya Informal Sector, that is KSIP 2, quarter report and financial statements for the period ended 31st December 2025 to 31st March 2026. Sponsor being John Duogashino, Chairperson Committee on Lands. We will also be getting another report of the Committee on Education and Vocational Training on Olujoro Sub-County Vocational Training Centers annual reports and financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2025, sponsor being Peter Gadongo Kamau, Chairperson Committee on Education. On notice of motion, Honorable Speaker, we'll be getting a notice of motion on the report of the Committee on Education, Vocational Training on Olujoro Sub-County Vocational Training Centers annual reports and financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2025, sponsor being Peter Gadongo Kamau, Chairperson Committee on Education and Vocational Training. Honorable Speaker, we'll be getting on statements. We'll be getting response to statements sought by Honorable Jufro Kamwana on the statement on status of RAD at Engineer Stadium and works on the on the playfield. And the respondent will be Honorable Joseph Kuria Kaduo, Chairperson Committee on Youth, Sports and Innovation. We'll also be getting a response to statements sought by Honorable Mui Kayani on statement on status of employment of ECD teachers and disbursement of capitation to ECDs, the respondent being Peter Gadongo Kamau, Chairperson Committee on Education and Vocational Training. On motions and bills, Honorable Speaker, we'll be getting a motion on report of Committee on Public Service Administration and Devolution on Nyandarua County KCP 2, half-year reports and financial statement for the period ended 31st December 2025, sponsor being Edward Wabu Kingori, Chairperson Committee on Public Service. Honorable Speaker, this notice paper is prepared and published pursuant to Standing Orders 40 and 41 and dated this day, 28th day of July 2026, and I hereby table the said notice paper. Thank you.
Very well, Majority Leader. The notice paper is duly tabled. Clerk, next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Mr. Speaker, sir, under this order, there is a paper to be tabled by the Honorable Elijah Mwangi Nyaga, the leader of Majority Party.
Honorable Elijah Mwangi Nyaga, the leader of Majority Party, and member for Kaibaga. Proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to table the following that is submission of public finance management, that is Nyandarua County Climate Change Fund Regulations 2026, and I hereby table the said regulations.
The report is duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Delegated County Legislation for consideration within 28 days in accordance with the provisions of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013. Clerk, next order.
Under the same order, Mr. Speaker, there is a paper to be tabled by the Honorable Peter Denji Kiriga, the Chairperson Committee of Special Funds Accounts.
Honorable Peter Denji Kiriga, Chairperson Committee on Special Funds Accounts and member for Orie. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I table my report, I want to congratulate the delegations that come from your ward, with the teachers, the president of the pupils, and Mr. Speaker, you have a good school indeed. I thought when you were saying Getambushi, Mr. Speaker, I thought there were no such products. In fact, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, I want to commend you. And I want to tell the delegation that the way we have a Deputy Speaker here, you are as well to come up with important people, the way you can see the Speaker who merely come from who come from your ward, and now he is one of the leaders of this assembly. Don't demean yourself. Work hard, and you are able, and you go far. Mr. Speaker, despite having completed the report, Mr. Speaker, and scrutinizing, examining the financial statements together with the supporting document and the submissions from the FAD administrator, Mr. Speaker, the committee is set to hold a final sitting to consider, adapt, approve, and draft the report, including the observations and findings and the recommendations before we report. Before the report can be finalized for tabling in this county assembly. Mr. Speaker, in view of the foregoing, the committee respectively requests an extra extension of a fortnight to enable it to finalize the report, formally adapt and in the recommendations in the table and report before the county assembly for the consideration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well, Honorable Thinji. The preliminary report is duly tabled. The leave sought is well explained and deserving, and so I grant it as sought. Chairperson, ensure the report is ready within the time requested. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motions. Mr. Speaker, sir, under this order, there is a notice of motion to be given by the Honorable Peter Wadungu,
Pursuant to Standing Order 157(5)(d). Next order.
Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motions and bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, under this order, there is a motion to be moved by the Honorable Isaac Mbai.
Githioro, proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I read the report, allow me first to welcome the student of Mountain View Springs from Geta, right? And it is my pleasure to invite you or to welcome here as a member of County Assembly from Githioro, that is in Kipipiri, bordering Geta on the other end. You are very much welcome, and I will just advise you that today we are seated here, and I can assure you that tomorrow you are the one who will be occupying these positions, and we are very much humbled for choosing to visit this place. Otherwise you could have chosen Nairobi or somewhere else, but you have chosen us because there is something you want to learn from us. You are very much welcome, and you'll be taken care very well by the Honorable Speaker, who is one of the most senior person in this assembly. Honorable Speaker, I will read the report. The Committee on the Water, the Water, Sanitation, Tourism, Environment and National Resources and Climate Change. We have this report of the Nyandarua County Lake Ouroboros at Sport Tourism and the Conservation Half Marathon and third annual report, and the financial year statement for the year ended that 1st December 2025. Honorable Speaker, I would not read the introduction part, and also because it is already stipulated there. But I'll read this part where I'll be able to acknowledge that Honorable Speaker, I wish to recognize that the miserable effort demonstrated by the honorable members of this committee during the committee sittings. I wish to register its appreciation to the Secretariat for offering technical expertise during the compilation of this report. Honorable Speaker, importantly, I extended our gratitude to your office and that of the clerk for ensuring that the entire exercise was successful. Your facilitation ensured that the committee received optimal technical and logistical support necessary, and it cannot go unnoticed. Honorable Speaker, lastly, it is my pleasure on behalf of the Committee on Water, Sanitation, Environment, Tourism and Natural Resources and Climate Change to present this report to the House for consideration and adoption. To all honorable members, I thank you on behalf of the committee, and may God bless you. Honorable Speaker, the committee comprises the following members. That is I, Isaac Bai Kamau, as the chairperson, Caroline Jarara as the vice chair, Honorable Ibrahim Maina, member, Honorable James Gishoke Mwangi, a member, Honorable Luce Kageni Gedeji, member, Honorable Mirika Wajiro Dirango, member, Honorable Paul Gesho Wabaire, member, Honorable Keruka Boro, member, and Honorable Samuel Wainaina Madhu, a member. Honorable Speaker, I will not read the committee mandate. It is well stipulated in Standing Order 200/1 and also Standing Order 200/5. Honorable Speaker, I will go direct to the observation and findings. Mr. Speaker, committee held meetings to consider the Nyandarua Lake Oroborosat Sport Tourism and Conservation Half Marathon, third annual report and financial statement for the period ended that 1st December 2025, as forwarded by the CCM for Water, Sanitation, Tourism, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change, and the following findings. Honorable Speaker, the principal mandate of the fund is mobilize resources for funding of Lake Oroborosat Sport Tourism and the Conservation Half Marathon. As such, the fund is run by the committee comprising the listed, that is Honorable Samuel Mugo, Washira Mugo, the CCM Water, Sanitation, Tourism, Environment and Natural Resources and Climate Change, Honorable Mugai Kiongo, CCM Youth Empowerment, Sport and Innovation, Jerome Kiarie, Chief Officer Tourism and Environment, Mr. Frederick Kirongo, Chief Officer in charge of Finance, Honorable Mr. Simon Jiri, Director of Sport, Margaret Gashomo, Director of Finance, Mr. Bernard Mwai Murioki, Director Tourism and the FAD Administrator, Mr. Moses Murioki, representing the Oroborosat Community Conservation Group, Daniel Kamau, representing Athlete Kenya, Mr. Isaac Cairo, representing Nyandarua County Tourism Association. Key management team led by Bernard Mwai Morioki, Director in charge of Tourism and FAD Administrator, Esther Mudhon, FAD Accountant, Joram Kelly, Chief Officer Tourism and FAD Accountant, Signatory, Frederick Kirongo, Chief Officer in charge of Finance and FAD Account, Signatory. The function of the FAD committee include: 1. To consider, recommend, estimate of the revenue and expenditure of the FAD to the County Executive Committee member in charge of financial for approval. Recommend the opening and the closing of bank account in accordance with the Act. To recommend disbursement from the FAD. Receive, review, make recommendation on report on the performance of the FAD. To oversee the monitoring and evaluation of the program and activities under the FAD. To consult with the County Executive Committee on matter relating to the administration of the FAD. Mr. Speaker, the Lake Oroborosat Sport Tourism and Conservation Fund was aimed at raising funds to facilitate a successful third edition Lake Oroborosat Sport Tourism and Conservation Half Marathon. The marathon was scheduled to take place on 12th April 2026 and with an estimate budget of 12 million with expected funding from the county government partner and registration by various participants. During the period under review, there has not been activity since the fund has not been disbanded. However, the fund has been facing challenge that include: 1, failure of sponsor to deposit monies promised on time; 2, adequate funding; 3, insufficient fund that cripple fund activities. This is the committee observation, Honorable Speaker. It was observed that the date set by the Athlete Kenya AK for the half marathon are hardly observed. In the second edition, the date was changed twice, eroding investors' confidence on the county government in the conserving lake. Notably, the reason for the change of the date for the third edition portray lack of departmental synergy for overall good of our county. Additionally, the third administrative committee lacked a plan on how to engage partner on the tourism and conservation and have it as an ongoing activities between one marathon to another and hold the marathon as an event. 2, the fund had a budget of 11,331,000, which was to be funded by the county government, with 7,005,000 a donation from the development partners and contribution from the public worth 4,312,929. The anticipated expenditure were fund administrative expenses and general expenses, where 4,000 shillings was incurred on fund administrative expenses and 164 on general expenses. Committee observation: the third edition marathon was scheduled for the 12th April and 12th April 2026, and the end of the first half there were no activities in preparation of the marathon, and even fund had not been transferred to the special purpose account. This portray laxity on the fund administrator committee, which is likely to erode public confidence in the county land activities. Additionally, no activities has been undertaken in the period under review, given that the sport tourism conservation half marathon was not scheduled in the period under review. Honorable Speaker, this is now the committee recommendation. In the view of the foregoing, this is a committee recommendation, Honorable Speaker. 1, that the House adopt the report. The House adopt the committee report on Nyandarua County Recreational Sport and Conservation Half Marathon Fund annual report and the financial statement for the period ended that 1st December 2025, and the recommendation therein as the resolution of the Honorable House. Number 2, that the county executive in charge of tourism ensure henceforth that funds allocated for the Recreational Sport Tourism and Conservation of Marathon are transferred to the special purpose account immediately the budget is in operation. That number 3, that the county executive in charge of tourism shall ensure adherence to the marathon date set in future. That is the report that and the observation of our committee, Honorable Speaker. This is a very clear indication that every time we have a chance of doing things the right way, there are people who are sleeping on their job. It is my advice to the department and to the committee that are in charge of the County Marathon, that in the near future, when they will have allocation, they must walk the talk, where if they set the date for marathon, they should ensure that those the whole process is followed, so that they can create confidence to the investors who are willing to support that good initiative. Again, Honorable Speaker, the accountability must be followed, because again, you realize that there were people who didn't have they didn't show the accountability when it comes to ensure things are done in a proper manner. And one thing I request, and this should be, it's my humble request, every department that will slip and fail to implement the allocation that they have been given, the coming budget, they should be left without the budget for the same activities, at least so that they can learn from their mistake. Otherwise, we keep on pumping money to a certain project and it is not working, then we, Honorable Speaker, we will end up putting money to unnecessary activity. Otherwise, there are so many loopholes in this county. There are so many projects that are waiting for funds, and it is on we can call to any other department that receive money or they receive allocation, but they fail to act on timelines that are given by the systems that have the setup in this county. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I call Honorable Kongo. Yeah, the chair budget to second.
Honorable Isaac Kongo, member for Wajohi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am not a member of the committee, but that notwithstanding, I am a member of budget and I am aware of some of the issues that are happening because it's a fund, and being a fund, I think the budget committee is always interested in such issues. Allow me also to welcome our friends from Geta. Geta is within Wajohi sub-county, so these are brothers and sisters who are visiting us here today. You are very much welcome in this assembly. We are glad to host you today. And I know that by the time you leave this place, you'll have learned one or two things. This is where you belong in the future. And I want to tell you that each and every honorable member you see here started where you are. Actually, some of us didn't have the privilege of attending a private school. So we schooled in public schools. We struggled our way, and finally we are here. So I also believe that your future belongs to you. You have a bright future, and that you aspire. When you aspire to achieve or to succeed in life, you'll always succeed. Honorable Speaker, I am very disappointed by the report that have been presented by the chair. I was one of the members that pushed so much for the fund in this house. You know, when we learned that the Ouroboros is drying up, and this is a very serious issue, and we all know the importance of the Ouroboros ecosystem in this county, and even downstream, the effect of the Lake Ouroboros. I pushed for this fund so much, and we were looking at the issue of sustainability, because one of the challenges and one of the impediments with the government, we are reactionary. Most of the time we react to issues when they have happened instead of being proactive. When everybody in this country learned that the Ouroboros is coming to extinction, we were always rushing everywhere. Everybody was busy trying to show that I'm doing something to proclaim or to reclaim the Ouroboros. And when they brought this issue here through the department, I asked them, we don't want an activity. We want an event that will be happening each and every year. So you must bring the issue of sustainability into this concept. Because they were talking about tourism, sports, what, and we told them, okay, can you bring the issue of sustainability? For example, Honorable Speaker, when you look at Dakaine half marathon, the more popularly known as the green half marathon, I think it started in the year 2003, 2004. This year they will be doing their 17th edition. Nyandarua, we have just done one edition and we have died. And I told them, go to Dakaine, go and benchmark through UAP, what do they do? Can you look at what they do so that you can be able to come up with a sustainable event that will be happening every year? Honorable Speaker, it was not about Oroborosat. It was about providing 11 million so that that money can be squandered. The greatest problem in this country is lack of accountability. You go, you ask money from Exchequer. You go, you ask money from friends, because I know some banks were ready to sponsor. But after doing the activity, you don't want to be accountable. Who do you think will come tomorrow to support you? And that is the problem we are facing today. Now I'm asking myself, we introduced a fund in this house. What happens that they were not able to host the second edition of Nyandarua or the Koroborosat half marathon? Honorable Speaker, you are aware of the financial report that was brought in this house, where they proclaimed that they planted trees. When the committee visited, there was no single tree that was there. And actually, the tree that they were claiming that they bought from the money we provided, they were donation in kind by one of the sponsors. Honorable Speaker, it is very embarrassing that we sit in this house, we come with good laws, we support such kind of funds, but when it goes to the executive, the implementation fails, there is no accountability. So next time, Majority Leader, there will be a rush when we understand now that the Koroborosat is drying again. That is when now we rush up and down, saying that there was a fund somewhere, there was a road somewhere, we were supposed to do somewhere. But when you are given funds, this is an event that is supposed to be happening every year. We are supposed to involve the community, the grassroots people, to make sure that they are aware of this resource, they are able to conserve this resource. But we should not be people who just react on issues, because we never know what will happen tomorrow. I can hear the weather people are saying that we'll be having a La Nina. So we don't know what will happen. We pushed, we asked them that we need to push about the issue of eucalyptus that is happening around that lake, that is leading to that lake to dry. Nothing have happened. I have not seen. And we are aware that NEMA just passed the law the other day that we should uproot all those eucalyptus trees that are happening along the river banks and water these sources. So, Honorable Speaker, I will not agree with some of the issues that have been given here, but we need the committee to delve deeper. So, because I can see, Honorable Speaker, our Borosat Marathon is dying. It is becoming, whatever we did here is of no use. And Honorable Speaker, it is an important resource. I would ask the committee to invite the executive, forge a way forward in future. For example, the coming financial year, are we having a Borosat Marathon? So we need to ask ourselves, we need to sit down, re-strategize again, see where it went wrong. Because I believe this is a resource that is of great benefit to our people and people downstream. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support.
I propose the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation, Environment, Tourism, Natural Resources and Climate Change on the County Government of Nyandarua Lake or Borosat Sports, Tourism and Conservation Half Marathon Fund, half-year report and financial statements for the period ended that 1st December 2025 as a report of the House and the recommendations therein as the resolutions of the House. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Yes, Honorable Speaker, indeed, I'm glad that we've had a moment to react and to investigate and to look deeply into what transpired during the last financial year, where we had put money for Roborosat marathon. I also want to concur with my honorable member from Wajohi that indeed we don't just put money where we cannot account for that money. Honorable Speaker, we have case studies whereby we've had events and occasions within the world whereby if the agenda is implemented well, it gives what we call measurable results. From what has been reported here, what has transpired through that funding, indeed, Honorable Speaker, it creates a lot of concern. Honorable Speaker, from the documentation, you will not find the relevance of the surrounding committee, involvement of the surrounding committee within that occasion, Honorable Speaker. And much has been put through the donor funding and supporters and from the county government. And if we say we document and we give measurable results, you'll not get it, Honorable Speaker. When we come up as a county, I agree with the member. When we come up with such funding, the results must be measurable. Not just a matter of saying that we did this. We planted this, how many? We planted 1,000 trees. How many can we see? Right? We were able to make roads. Are they there? We tried to improve the status of Lake Roborosat, to improve the number of tourists. How many have reported since then? This is the only way we can justify such kind of funding. So I agree with the member that we ought not to put money. It's like we are just putting money to be siphoned through other ways. We need to put money that we can account as a county government. So next time the executive pleads that we put more money, we must put formulas also to account of the same, because year comes, year goes. We are just having a marathon, but the results cannot be measured. We can't do that. We don't have enough money for that. We need to be serious engagement. If we are taking it serious that we want to revamp and improve the status of Lake Roborosat, where the trickle-down effect, the benefit, are so enormous, if we get serious as a county government. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm looking forward to the next year, the next financial year, that is within this financial year, be having the funding of the said project, either from the donor, must be accounted for and must be measurable. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You may call the mover to respond.
I call the mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like first to address the concern that was raised by Honorable Kungu, that is very genuine. That this assembly is really doing a lot to ensure that we have put measures all in place, and also ensuring that the budget is set aside for those such events. But it's very unfortunate that we still have departments that that requested for the allocation, but when it comes to implementation, they are very slow. They are not doing the right thing. They are not truthful. Very unfortunate that Honorable Mwangi talked about the tip. You'll find in the reports they are saying that we have planted trees, but when you go to the ground, you'll find there is no trees. That's why we are saying that the departments, all departments need to be genuine and to be sincere with when it comes to implementation of the project that can benefit our people. Today, Honorable Speaker, the half marathon that was the Borosat half marathon was not only supposed to benefit the Lake Borosat. Remember, Nyandarua County, we have so many young runners, upcoming runners, and that is the only place where they could be able to identify their gifts, because they could participate easily and prove to the world that we are also here and we can be able to run. So the benefit that was supposed to come from the Borosat marathon, it's more huge than what we expected. So it is my pressure, Honorable Speaker, requesting the department to come up with a good mechanism, good plans, that when we'll give them another allocation, yeah, they will be able to be accounted and they will be able to deliver to our expectation and to the donor expectation. Otherwise, there are so many donors maybe waiting outside there to see how successful the progress or successful the initiative is taking, so that they can chip in. But remember, even the donor, by the time they are chipping in, you must prove that you can. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I move.
I now put the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation, Environment, Tourism, Natural Resources and Climate Change on County Government of Nyandarua, Lake Borosat Sports, Tourism and Conservation Half Marathon Fund, half-year report and financial statements for the period ended 31st December 2025 as a report of the House and the recommendations therein as the resolutions of the House. May those of a similar opinion say aye. May those of a contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we have exhausted the business as is appearing in this morning's sittings order paper.
Honorable members, there being no other business to transact during today's sitting, I now adjourn the House to Tuesday, the 28th day of July 2026 at 2:30 p.m.